Barry Robson wants to make Graeme Shinnie's move to Aberdeen permanent, but the only thing standing in his way is WIGAN and, of course, a transfer embargo. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And I think it is fair to say last season we seen Graeme Shinnie back to his best. He came in January, he came in on a loan deal for Aberdeen, and we seen some of Shinnie's best stuff since he left Aberdeen 4 years ago. He played a big role in helping Aberdeen move up the league table, move into third place and secure that guaranteed European football. But Barry Robson has obviously seen that. He's seen the impact that Shinnie can have, and he wants Shinnie to stay at Aberdeen. He wants to get him in a permanent role at the club, and he wants to keep him there for next season. And I think it is fair to say that Graeme Shinnie probably wants that too. He's probably thinking, look at WIGAN. They're in a bit of a shit show at the moment. They were deducted points. They've got a transfer embargo. They've been relegated to League One. Screw Wigan Athletic. I can go back to Aberdeen where I am adored by the fans, and of course I will have football waiting for me. That is European football, something Wigan will probably not be seeing again. So it makes sense. Barry Robson, he wants Graeme Shinnie. Graeme Shinnie wants Aberdeen. It seems like it's a perfect match. This deal can be made. We know Aberdeen next season, they're going to be in Europe. That means they will have money, and they will have money to spend, and they can improve their team. So it seems like this would be a simple deal. Aberdeen wants Shinnie. It's as simple as paying the money for him. However, it turns out that might not be the case, because now with Wigan having to deal with a transfer embargo, it could lead to Wigan not being able to sell any players. Think about it. If Wigan have this ban, if Wigan are unable to buy players, then they're not going to be able to replace any players that they sell. So that means they might be wanting to keep a hold of every single person they can. So either that means that Wigan will no longer be willing to sell Graeme Shinnie to Aberdeen, or another likely scenario is that they will want a hell of a lot more money than they normally would for Graeme Shinnie. So the whole thing just makes the deal a lot more difficult, and a deal that looks like it would be simple has now turned into a deal that is not so simple. Remember, Shinnie wasn't exactly getting a lot of game time at Wigan. That is why it was agreed that he could move out in the first place. That's why he went to loan in Aberdeen. Things have worked out for him at Aberdeen, and now he wants to move to Aberdeen permanently. But with this transfer embargo, it just throws a spanner in the works, with Wigan pretty much not being able to add any players to their squad. You know, if they let players go, they need to add players, but they can't add players, so therefore they can't afford to let too many players go. So Graeme Shinnie could be in a strange situation. Now, in terms of paying players wages, it seems like Wigan haven't been doing that either. So I actually don't know what the deal is with players at Wigan at the moment. Shinnie has a year remaining on his contract, and it is thought there's a possibility he could rip that up due to the non-payment of wages. But if he does that, then it means he's given up his final year's salary. But if Wigan haven't been paying the wages, if Wigan have had a problem paying wages, then is he really giving up a year's salary if he's not getting paid? I mean, it's a tricky situation. I'm not too sure how it works, but Shinnie is, 31 years old now. It has been reported by Sky Sports that Aberdeen are willing to offer Shinnie a 3-year deal if it can be done. That would take him up to 34 years old. Would it end his career at Aberdeen? I'm not too sure. I mean, obviously, he would have another move left at that stage. What kind of performance would Graeme Shinnie have at 34 years old? We don't know. But I think this is certainly a good deal for Aberdeen. I think Aberdeen will try and make this deal happen. It just depends on whether they can do it with all the problems that Wigan currently have. But I think Aberdeen are a much better team with Shinnie in it than they are without Shinnie. And I think Shinnie could play a major role for Aberdeen next season. They are going to lose players, let's be honest. They've already lost Ross McCrory. They've got a bunch of players that were also on loan that they are losing ahead of the next season. There is transfer rumours all the time around the likes of Miofsky and Duke, so we could have players leaving there. I mean, the Aberdeen team that got third place, it was a pretty good team, I'm not going to lie. But let's be honest, a lot of those players were loan players, and a lot of those players will also be in high demand this summer. So I think this team for Aberdeen could change up drastically this season. And I think the Aberdeen team that starts the 2023-2024 campaign could be a hell of a lot different from the team that we seen end the 2022-2023 campaign. Will Graeme Shinnie be in that team? I think he will be. I think they'll be able to work something out. But let's be honest, it is a bit more difficult now with this transfer embargo. It just makes things a lot harder than it needed to be. But the main thing is here, Shinnie wants to go to Aberdeen, and Aberdeen wants Shinnie. You factor in the extra money they will have for playing European football. I think this deal will get made, and I do believe Shinnie will be an Aberdeen player before the start of this upcoming season. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think down below. I think Graeme Shinnie's a game changer. I definitely think Graeme Shinnie is someone that could be the difference between Aberdeen maintaining third place this season and dropping down the table. I think Graeme Shinnie is the real deal, and I'd like to see him back in the SPFL. I think he would make the league a better place. Or maybe, I don't mean that as in terms of he's a nice guy. I mean, like, you know, I think he's a good player, so I think he will improve the quality. Anyway, guys, that's my opinion. Let me know yours down below. I'll catch you in the next one. And, of course, until then, peace.